Hey everyone, thanks for stopping by the movie Hangout. Well, the HBO documentary is about to be released about Michael Jackson, and the title is, I always mess this up, Leaving Neverland. Neverland. So the trailer is out. Let's check it out and we'll talk about it.
Everybody wanted to meet Michael or be with Michael. And then he likes you.
I was 7 years old. Michael asked, "Do you and the family want to come to Neverland?"
We drive in and forget about all your problems. You were in Neverland. It was a fantasy.
The days were filled with magical childhood adventure experiences. Playing tag, watching movies, eating junk food, anything you could ever want as a child.
It's like hanging out with a friend that's more your age.
Just kid things. They were just doing kid things.
He just came across as a loving, caring, kind soul. It was easy to believe that he was just that.
Out of a storybook, right? Out of a fairy tale.
Hello, Wade. Today is your birthday, so congratulations. I love you. Goodbye.
There's no thoughts of this is wrong or anything like that.
He told me if they ever found out what we were doing, he and I would go to jail for the rest of our lives.
Secrets will eat you up. You feel so alone.
I want to be able to speak the truth as loud as I had to speak the lie for so long.
Wow, that was pretty good, pretty good. Okay, so this documentary is produced by HBO. It's directed by Dan Reed, produced by Dan Reed, and Dan Reed has, it looks like, he's done a few other projects, but nothing this substantial. And so this documentary is about two alleged victims, and what I mean is by alleged is that they haven't had a trial or anything. There's been no conviction, just two allegations by two alleged victims, and that is Wade Robson and Jimmy Safechuck. I think that's how you pronounce his name. And these are two young men that when they were in their youth, when they were really really young, like under the age of 12, uh, were close friends to Michael Jackson. Spent a lot of time with him, just alone, one on one, which is weird because I don't know what type of person would let their kid just be alone with a grown man, even if they're famous. But these two guys are coming forward and saying that they were molested or abused by Michael Jackson. And this is an ongoing thing on Michael Jackson. When I was a kid, Michael Jackson was the biggest superstar on the planet, pretty much up until he died, but definitely in the 80s and 90s. So if you were a kid in the 90s, late 80s, he was like the biggest thing ever. When he would perform, I mean, it was like Michael Jordan playing basketball. Time would stop. You would just watch. And also the fact he always surrounded himself with kids, and he also would do really nice thing for kids, and he would create programming for kids as well for them to watch. So it was like, okay, this is a cool guy, he's affiliated with kids and everything. And then the allegations started, and then the weirdness started. What I like about this documentary, and they showed a little bit of it in that trailer, is that we're going to see photos of Michael Jackson, home videos on VHS tapes of Michael Jackson that Michael Jackson himself took and sent to these kids, wishing them happy birthday, just spending time alone with them, going on trips with them. So I think it's really interesting to see candid media of Michael Jackson that most of us never even got to see. We would only see him and his music videos, interviews, highly produced, highly edited footage. So it's good to see stuff that is not going to be edited down or produced by a production company, just stuff that Michael did himself and sent to kids, not knowing anybody would ever see it. So the fact that Michael Jackson would not have known this would be made public I think is a little more authentic because it shows maybe how he really was. Uh, Me personally, I mean, I think it's kind of obvious whether or not these are true. These allegations are true. I mean, I personally think Michael Jackson. It's kind of leaning towards the yes. Uh, I would like to think that they're not, because you don't want to believe somebody that you idolized as a kid would be capable of doing something like that. But it is what it is. The sad thing about it is that Michael Jackson is dead. He died 10 years ago, and because he's dead, there's no closure to it. He can't be asked. He can't be forced to tell the truth. He can't be forced to tell his side of the story. It's just one side of the story. And that's kind of the tragedy of the Michael Jackson tale, is that it's it's not a closed book, it's still open. And people keep adding pages to it or taking pages away. And had he, I guess, been able to live a little bit longer and finish his tour, and then maybe confront some of these allegations and talk more about them, and maybe why he looked the way he did, why he changed his appearance drastically, why his behavior changed dramatically as he got older and got stranger. If he could have just touched upon that and explained it a little bit better, I think then it would have closed his book and closed the tale of his life, and it wouldn't be just left hanging like this. This movie has been getting a lot of protest by hardcore Michael Jackson fans, which I can understand. If you really, really like this guy, you're not going to want somebody to come out with a documentary like this. But, look, these guys have a right to tell their side of it. And if it's true, then people have to know about it. And if it's true, these guys are entitled to compensation for it. I mean, and that's that. So let me know, what do you think? Do you think that these allegations are true against Michael Jackson? Do you want to see this HBO documentary? Do you think it's going to be good? Do you think it's going to really shine a light on whether or not Michael was capable of doing these types of things, or was he just an eccentric, creative genius who was taken advantage of? Let me know. I'm interested in your opinion on it. And as always, if you want to get future rants, reviews, or original content, click subscribe. Later.